going live. Whatever. We've done this in 3 weeks. I don't know.
I take it you hadn't set this up.
Yeah. Let's set up.
No, you're not on the chat thing.
Oh, you make that happen. I believed in you.
Didn't believe in yourself.
I mean, nah.
But you still got the volume up too.
That's why I believed in you.
You were terrible.
That's all right. What's up, everybody? We are back after 3 weeks of being away with vacations and times offs and just getting away from the job and recharging the batteries. We're here. News 19 Nerds are here. I'm Michael.
I'm Leroy.
You represent USA today?
I'm always representing USA Today. Frickin' Philistine.
You're always representing them today?
I'm always representing them.
Okay, there we go. So, press play in 2020, the first one of 2020. What are we talking about?
I don't know. You want to do this.
I feel like you set me up just now because I said, hey, should we do one? You were like, yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I
literally just said, I don't know. You said you want to do this.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
I don't know.
I literally gave you a list of topics. You never texted me back if you wanted to talk about those things.
Yeah, man, it's a potpourri today, man. What are we talking about?
That's not what potpourri is, sir.
It is in 2020.
No, that's not.
Yeah.
No, well, that's not how language works.
2020 is you make up your own words, and you make up how they're defined. Who's?
Don't look
Brian?
over here.
I'm looking over here.
Oh, I was about to say, don't cheat.
Edward and Brian. What's up, guys? Hello, everyone.
That's Edward Sanchez Productions, sir. Say it the whole thing. Like
He's
a pimp named Slickback.
He's a friend of the show. I just call him Edward.
Sir.
That's all I'm saying.
His name is Edward Sanchez Productions.
Can I call you Ed?
Like a pimp named Slickback. You got to say the whole thing.
Please let me know if I'm allowed to call you Ed.
And if you don't know a pimp named Slickback, educate yourself and watch the Boondocks.
Fantastic.
First 3 seasons, not the 4th one.
Oh, okay.
4th one, he didn't, remember he wasn't on the 4th one.
Yeah, but it's still funny.
No.
It's all right.
No, it's not.
It's
I
fine.
never finished the 4th season.
It's fine.
Or is it the 3rd season?
You don't even know.
What season is it that?
I don't know.
Either
what are we
way.
talking about?
I don't know, man. I sent you a text. You still haven't responded.
I know. I just told in the description, I said, hey, man, it's 2020. We're just going to do a potpourri of stuff.
Please tell me you didn't write that.
I didn't write potpourri.
Oh, man, I was about to delete this whole thing and restart.
No, but I did say it's about to be a free-for-all. I didn't list any specific topics.
Why? When I literally sent you a text message.
I want to try something new with 2020.
And you're the one who was off.
I know. I was relaxed. I got this thing going now.
Sir, you were terrible.
You can call me Ed. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Ready to the show. The reason why is we actually have a bunch of stuff that we put on there, so I didn't know. I like the idea of talking about the troubles at Marvel. Are troubles or maybe not troubles? Depends on how you look.
I'll put it like this. You pick 2 topics and we'll go with that because there's a lot of stuff we could say, but let's start 2020 off with not being negative.
I'm not talking about anything negative to talk about.
Let's be constructive in 2020. We're going to try to help.
Yeah, so let's do Marvel.
Okay.
Because Marvel's always a big topic.
So you start, kick it off. Let's go. What happened? What are we talking about?
Creative differences with Marvel Studios and Scott Derrickson.
Okay.
The director, of the original director for Doctor Strange and would have been the upcoming sequel.
Okay, Ryan Porter and Brian Barrett. Okay, first to answer Brian Barrett, why did you switch from Thursdays for press play? Football season. So for those of you who don't know, we work for a local TV station, and Fridays I have to shoot high school football. So we couldn't do it on Fridays because right after our 7 o'clock newscast, I would have to run out to whatever high school was playing football and shoot that. So we moved it to Thursdays because then we could do it on Thursday. Football season, high school football is over, so originally this was the goal. We always do it on Friday to wrap up the nerd news of the week going into the next week.
So hopefully we could get everything that we
yes,
because if we did on Thursday, there's a good chance we might have missed something
correct,
on Friday.
Because like when we do a nerd news wrap up, which is like a 2-minute of kind of the big stories of the week. We missed 2 of them in the nerd news wrap up. Some things that we could have done, like we missed the Birds of Prey trailer coming out, and you mentioned this story about the AI and Synalytics. And we would
Warner Brothers said, yeah, let's give it to the computers.
Yeah, so that's why we want to do them on Fridays. That's the goal. Thursdays or Fridays at the end of the week versus doing them on a Monday, because Monday's the start of the week. and you have more to talk about on the Fridays. And we figure it's a good way to go into the weekend.
Yeah.
So that's why we wanted to do that. What's up, David Cooper, Ty Williams? What's up, guys? Go Marvel. So you talked about.
Well, I mean, the headline was, saw this on IGN first. I'm sure the people reported it. But Scott Derrickson, who is a well-known kind of indie horror director, has done a bunch of horror movies. He got well-known when he did the first Doctor Strange. I was about to say Doctor Who. That's why I got a Doctor. Shout out, man! Doctor Who is back, y'all, and it is so good. Season 12 is.
Stay focused.
I'm happy. Doctor Who is hot again. Doctor Who season 11 was okay, but Doctor Who 12, oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Doctor Strange. Did you enjoy Doctor Strange? I enjoyed Doctor Strange.
I had my issues with it.
You didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it.
Okay, there we go. So, all right. So I think the general consensus is most people either thought it was okay or liked it. I don't think anybody hated Doctor Strange.
I didn't hate it. I liked it, but I just there were some issues with it. I took.
So that did well, and for a while, they weren't talking about whether there was going to be a sequel to Doctor Strange.
Really?
Because it made money, but it didn't do gangbusters like Captain America 3 did, or like Iron Man 3. Well, because again, nobody really knows Doctor Strange like they knew those people.
Well, yeah, and it's their first metaphysical movie.
Yeah.
It's not your typical Marvel movie.
Kevin Feige has always been on record saying one of his favorite characters is Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. So he'd been pushing for a Doctor Strange movie forever, finally got it made. So probably behind the scenes, and this is just me speculating, I would imagine he always wanted Doctor Strange 2 to come out. They just needed the right time to officially announce it. So during a D23 event or some event, they announced their Phase 4 lineup. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was announced. Scott Derrickson was coming back to direct. Mm-hmm. I don't know who else is in it besides Benedict. Besides Benedict Cumberbatch, probably Benedict Wong.
Oh, the Olsen girl is in it.
Right. Sorry, I meant like from the original people. Like, is Rachel McAdams back? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
She ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah. She could come back, but yeah. So it's gonna have and this is supposed to lean into the more
horror element.
More horror elements than the first one did.
Okay.
Then this week it was announced they parted over creative differences. Both Scott Derrickson and Marvel released a statement that are very nice and PC. We respect each other. We respect what people are going to do. I mean,
due to creative differences.
Here's the thing. I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Personally, this has already happened to them once with Edgar Wright and Ant-Man. Mm-hmm. And Peyton Reed did a good job with Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. I like both those movies.
He did. I will say this. He did a good job. Mm-hmm. However, it's one of those things where it was serviceable. I like Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd. I don't own either of those movies. Mm-hmm. And I don't. And it's not that I don't need. There's nothing about them that stands out to me.
Yeah.
They're just middle of the road, and that's how I felt about Doctor Strange when Doctor Strange could have been weird, and Doctor Strange wasn't weird to me. It was just meh. And don't get me, it looks great.
Yeah.
I've watched it again on, and it looked great in the big screen. But the whole time, the one problem that I think that Marvel has that a lot of people I can kind of agree with, when they make a great one, they make a great one. But that Marvel makes a lot of them that are just meh.
I'm okay with that.
But what I'm saying is, my problem with that is, you cannot. That's where the superhero fatigue is going to come. Mm-hmm. When you make too much stuff that's just meh. Because this is my thing. I don't own Doctor Strange. I don't own as beautiful as it looks, and that's just me. I don't own any of the Ant-Man. I don't own any of the Thors except for Thor 3. I own all of Captain America. I own all the Iron Mans. There's going to be a point in time when you have to wow people, and that Doctor Strange was their opportunity to do what they did with Guardians, and to me they failed. For you to be on the cutting edge and introducing us to a character that no one knew, and you could have went anywhere with it. Mm-hmm. That's the best you could do. Mm-hmm. That's where I come away with it, and the reason why I think this is a hindrance is because I think a lot of what goes forward in Phase 4 hinges on Doctor Strange in the multiverse. Mm-hmm. And I think losing your director over creative differences shows that you did not have this discussion before you announced this movie of what this movie was going to be with him. And he had a vision for what he wanted a sequel, and Marvel and Kevin Feige and them had a vision where they want this to go, and they are not on the same page.
But playing devil's advocate, couldn't this be a good thing? Because you already said
It could
the first Doctor Strange didn't wow you.
It could.
And if you get a new director,
What I'm saying is it could be. But the problem also is Marvel could be going in a direction that you bring in someone who doesn't understand the character, or you could get a situation where Scott Derrickson was like, I'm going to play it safe in this one because I'm going to go weird in this one. And this is what I will say about Doctor Strange. And I had a conversation with a couple buddies of mine back in the day, and I called it, and I wish we had this channel so I could go back and be like, I told you. There's a couple of turning points in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that would have never made it without certain things. Iron Man is number one. Captain America: Civil War and Avengers to me are basically Captain America. If Iron Man hadn't worked, Captain America hadn't worked, and Guardians of the Galaxy. You could not have gotten what we have without Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that linchpin that makes everything else work. For Phase 4 to work, for what I think they're trying to do, Doctor Strange is that linchpin. Doctor Strange 2 is that linchpin because you have the multiverse. WandaVision ties directly into that. We know Photon, Captain Marvel, whatever you want to call her, LaWanda, she played her mom, and the younger girl is grown up now. I can't remember her name, but she goes.
Teyonah Parris is the actress.
But I can't remember whatever name they're going to use. But basically, she's going to be in there. Huh?
Is it Maria?
No, I'm trying to think of what her superhero name would be.
Okay.
But you know that's what's going to be all these characters, and I think that's where you have that weirdness where you can go different dimensions. I think that's the movie. It may be Eternals, but I think that's the movie that's going to be the Guardians that's going to launch, and you're going to be like, oh, because you couldn't go to space without the Guardians. If Guardians hadn't worked, you would not have gotten Avengers Endgame, Infinity War. You wouldn't have got any of that.
Yeah.
So
I am cautiously optimistic because the worst Marvel movie to me
Thor 2.
is probably Thor 2. And there are parts that I like about Thor 2.
Oh, I like Thor 2, but
and the worst thing about to me, the worst thing about Thor 2 is that it's boring. It's not that it's bad; it's that it's boring. And I think that there's a big difference because if it's on
Justice
TV,
League is bad.
Yeah. let's get the DC fanboys in here. We're trying to be positive, all right? We're trying to be positive on 2020.
To me, Justice League is bad.
Yeah.
Thor 2 is boring.
Yeah.
And how do you have the God of Thunder and be boring?
And the thing about Thor 2 was a lot of that came down to Malekith because that villain was kind of like
but this is the thing. They did a piss poor job with Malekith, and Thor 2 was wrecked from the jump. And we'll get to that in the next topic.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things that happened in Thor 2 with the firing of Patty Jenkins. Natalie Portman didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So she was out. Then you didn't know Chris Eccleston, who was the Doctor who left, who wanted to be a movie star. And
bruh, you should have stuck with Doctor Who, man.
But he talks about now going back to television. Yes. He was kind of a prick.
Movies have not worked out for him.
But also,
who was he? Destro?
Yep. He was kind of a prick. And he talks about I wasn't fun to work with sometimes. And I'm wondering if that was one of those times. So if you had all of this fill in the blank going on, did that affect the movie?
Yeah.
And so that's why I think Thor 2 was just boring because they were just trying to make it serviceable.
Yeah.
And
so I got off topic, but I brought all that to say, even with Thor 2, I can find enjoyable things in it. And I guess my whole overall argument of the MCU is, I don't hate any MCU movie. They're just something I might find boring and I can skip over. I don't actively hate any of them. And until that happens, I'll give Kevin Feige the benefit of the doubt. So they've kind of been through this with Edgar Wright and Ant-Man, so they kind of have an idea of what they're doing. And Kevin Feige is not Kathleen Kennedy, so I don't think we have a Solo situation on our hands.
I will say this
because Solo was in production. They haven't started production on Doctor Strange yet. They were already shooting stuff, and Solo was like, this ain't working. So
this is my problem with that, and this is the problem that I have. The reason why I have this is because I look at it differently. I have a problem. Well, one, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy is the demon that everybody makes her out to be. I also think you should have given us the Solo movie. The way it was, given us that movie. Because, a Star Wars movie should be, one thing it should never be, is boring. And I would rather, Lord help me, I'm sorry I'm about to say this, but Lord help me.
2020! You're first. What you
I
gonna say?
would rather have a movie like The Last Jedi, which takes risks and may not work for some people. Swing for the fences versus boring. And there were some moments in it I really liked, but there were moments and I was like, this is what y'all got fired over? Like, so I'd rather risk. So when I say I have a problem with, I would like to know what the creative differences were. And that's the biggest problem with Hollywood. They always say creative differences, but they never say what they are. And because I would like to know going in, oh, that's what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, this is the thing with a lot of people, hindsight being 2020 and then living in the moment. The Star Wars franchise, and the reason why we compare them is because Disney owns them, but there's a lot of parallels. The Star Wars universe, a lot of people right now are like, J.J. Abrams is raw, and everybody's upset about the final trilogy and wanted to go back. They should have never taken it from George Lucas. They ruined it. You same crybabies ran George Lucas off. And did you go back and read with some of the stuff that he wanted to do? And that last trilogy?
Man, George is about to get wild.
George wanted to go wild. And keep in mind, George Lucas is the one who gave us space tariffs.
Yeah,
so
George was about to go wild.
See what I'm saying? So like,
yeah.
I would like to know that so you can be like, oh, no, we should have taken this from George. Like, George, thank you for these early movies.
But you know what? I almost, to piggyback on that, if I were to get Scott Derrickson's ideas, I almost want it afterwards because I don't want it to color the movie that I'm going to get.
That's
so
true.
I would almost like to see
that makes sense.
let the movie come out and then see what they would have done.
And then say, I would have went in this direction.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure.
But see, this...
like on like a director's commentary or something?
And honestly...
Let them come in like, this is what I would have done. They won't do it, but
and
that
honestly,
would be cool.
That's one of the things I think where physical media takes precedence over streaming because we miss a lot of that stuff. You miss the deleted scenes when you hear a director say, this is why this didn't work. This is why this worked. And we got some awesome commentary, some awesome little bits and nuggets from movies, from director's commentary saying, hey, I wanted to do this, but we decided. Like, that's where that should come in. So I don't know. I'm hesitant only because I wanted to see more of the horror element. And I wanted to see what Scott Derrickson could do. I was trying to look up his IMDb page because here's a man who did Sinister. Now, he directed The Day the Earth Stood Still, and that was not great. So
was that the robot alien thing?
That's the remake. That's the remake with Keanu Reeves. And was it Halle Berry? Who was the black girl?
I don't know.
With the son or whatever. He was the writer for Sinister 2, Deliver Us, Devil's Knot, Exorcism of whatever that lady's name
Probably
is.
Emily Rose, I assume.
Yeah, Hellraiser. So he's done horror before.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted a little more of that. It wasn't a bad movie. It just...
somebody in our comments said, and it's still up here, that they're still going to... You know it's not touchscreen. You know it's not. It ain't changed in 2020.
Sometimes I forget.
Somebody had said...
They're still using the script.
Yeah, they're still...
Brian Barrett said that.
Yeah, they're still using the script, which is cool. So, I mean, we'll see. It comes out 2021. We got time.
Yeah. There's enough for course correction.
And we know WandaVision got pushed up to 2020.
And that's where I'm concerned. Now, I know part of the reason why WandaVision and The Falcon and those two got pushed up, I think, was because, one, they needed to get some more people in who are recognizable on Disney Plus, because I love Disney Plus. Disney Plus ain't Netflix. It ain't got on it. It's like, no. I'm not knocking the content, but they tried to warn you. and me as well.
They
and
said
you,
it's
they
$6.99 for a reason.
We do not have the content, and so I think they pushed that up to give the actors more of a chance to do other stuff, to get in these movies later on, but also they need another show because I want to know how many people canceled that damn service after that.
After Mandalorian?
I mean, there are memes about it.
Yeah.
So I want to know. I think that's part of it.
Brian Barrett is asking if we think New Mutants
Nope.
are going to come to... Can I read the question so everybody can be in and then you can be negative?
They can see the question.
Shut up. Do we think New Mutants is going to be in the movies? The trailer doesn't say it's in theaters. I think it's going to come.
April.
I'm hopeful. That would be... Part of me does want it to be an April Fool's joke. I'd be like, wow.
You know what they
That
could
would be
do?
cool.
He brings up a very good point.
But it's supposed to be April 3rd.
If the trailer doesn't say in theaters, what they could do is do what Netflix has been doing. Because Netflix has been killing the game with this. They've been showing these awesome trailers on television and during sporting events, and then they say...
They put that red in.
Yep.
Yeah, Netflix.
And they could do like that February and March, and then put that Disney Plus symbol on, or put that Hulu symbol on, and that would be genius. But I honestly just don't see it coming out in theaters. I just don't know. I don't trust them.
To me, I feel like...
I've been hurt before.
Yeah, and I don't know the ins and outs, but I feel like Disney is just playing with house money that wasn't really their money. So they're like, at this point, let's just put it out and do whatever.
Now,
I don't know.
I saw a report, I haven't read it, that says New Mutants is actually in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
That'd be
Saw a
interesting.
headline. I did not read the story. I got to go back. I was busy. I was working. And I was like, what? Wait, what? And then they called and they were like, hey, we need to. I was like, this is more important, whatever it is. I don't care. It's a house fire. Did anybody die? No? Okay, we good.
We good.
So yeah, that's my opinion. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but you're right. There's enough time that there's could be course correction. We could get a better movie. We shall see. Scott Derrickson, friend of the show, come on, tell us about it.
Tell us about it for the show. Yeah.
If you need an outlet,
you can come. Yes, we will let you talk on our channel to our thousands of people.
I would literally say, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, go talk as long as you want.
You want me to
That's
sit on
fine.
this side or you want to sit on that side?
What kind of lighting do you need? We'll figure it out. Damon Estrada says Disney Plus equals WWE Network. It's funny that he says that. I have both of those, and I do kind of think of them on the same tier in terms of they're not costing me too much, so I don't think about it when it comes out of my banking account. They're like $6.99,
Yep.
$9.99. Let them come out, and then I mainly use WWE for those big pay-per-views. And every once in a while I'll look something up, but I'm not watching it all the time like I am in Amazon or Netflix or even a Hulu.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
Yeah.
The second story is the one that you brought up that I wanted to get to.
what was that?
I hate you. I really do.
I don't know what you have over there. You told me not to look at the paper.
You literally have a text message with me asking you about these stories.
I don't know which one you picked.
Y'all see this? This is what I deal with every day. I was going to go Warner Brothers and Cyber. So I have the article. You explain why you wanted to pick this one.
You know when I sent you that text, all I saw was the headline. I didn't read it. I just like this was interesting. Read it to me. Explain it to me. I talked about the first topic. You talk about this topic.
You really didn't read that when you sent me the text? And you were like, man, we should have put this in the nerd rap.
No. Man, I was on my day off. You know what I did on my day off?
No,
Nothing.
sir. No, sir.
I relaxed.
You harassed me with text messages on your day off and don't even read the stuff?
Leroy, you my best friend.
Oh, why?
You the best.
You
You the best, man.
Because I saw this, I was like, damn, he's right. We should have had this in there. You didn't even know what the story was.
It was a good headline. It's a good tease. Tell them what we're talking about.
You got me. I'll give you that. I was trying not to be angry in 2020. I see that's not happening. I hate you. So, Warner Brothers has hired a company called Cyberlytics, which has been around for a few years to help them decide. You know what? I'm going to just read the story. The movie division has signed a deal with Cyberlytics to use the latter's AI-driven project management system that launched last year. Under the new deal, Warner's will leverage the system's comprehensive data and predictive analytics to guide decision-making at the green light stage. The integrated online platform can assess the value of a star in any territory and how much a film is expected to make in theaters or any other ancillary streams. I'm not going to read that because it's BS. Here we go. While the platform won't necessarily predict what will be the next number 1 billion surprise like Warner's hit Joker, it will reduce the amount of time executives spend on low-value, repetitive tasks and instead give them a better dollar figure parameters for packaging, marketing, and distribution decisions, including release dates. The platform is particularly helpful in the festival setting, where studios get caught in bidding wars and plunk down massive sums after only hours of assessment, as happened with New Line's $15 million acquisition of Blinded by the Light out of last year's Sundance Film Festival. The Synalytics AI insight might have also altered decision-making on some of Warner's misfires from 2019, such as The Kitchen, Shaft, and Godzilla King of Monsters.
I think I saw most of the movies on planes. Did you ever see The Kitchen? Because we both talked about seeing it, and I ended up, I saw it on a plane to Dallas.
I have not seen it. So,
okay. Robots making movies.
So basically we're doing South Park.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's funny.
You saw that episode, right?
Yes. This idea has been around forever in terms of AI learning and doing things. We ran a story in the news about humanoid robots that can take over
Neons.
Neons that can become television anchors and medical professionals and teachers and all that kind of stuff.
But see, that's different. See, this is where the difference in the AI in that and the AI in this. The AI probably has predictive, kind of like when you do RPG. You do this, it has a preset list of directives. Okay, I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a teacher, it's teaching you this information. It has this information, it's giving you that. Mm-hmm. If it's a spokesperson, it's giving you here's this car. Mm-hmm. It goes this much. It's electric. It's not, I don't believe AI is to the point, and nor do I want it to the point where it is picking winners and losers when it comes to art. Regardless of whether it's commercial art. Mm-hmm. They're taking our jobs! Oh!
Yeah.
That's literally what we should have wrote in this. Like that, ooh. I have a problem with this. More so than probably anything else.
Tell me about it, Cameron.
Here comes the Leroy rant.
Go ahead. Let me get your soapbox.
F you, Warner Brothers. Yeah. Because you don't need a robot to tell you Shaft wasn't going to be a blockbuster. You didn't need Warner Brothers. You didn't need a robot to tell you The Kitchen probably wasn't going to be, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say The Kitchen is bad. You didn't need The Kitchen to tell you that, hey, that's probably not going to be a blockbuster. Mm-hmm. There are certain movies that are art house movies that you still want to do, that you still want to have. There is an experience in the movie theater that you put out something, that communal feeling that you watch this movie with other people that a robot cannot do. Mm-hmm. F you, Warner Brothers, because I am stop trying to quantify an experience. Stop trying to quantify what is going to affect people to the point where you're trying to predict what is art. Mm-hmm. No one saw Joker coming. We all saw the trailer and had different feelings. We all saw the trailer and thought, this is going to be crap. This is going to be great. This is whatever. It hit at a particular time.
You guys can go back and watch our Joker reactions and the review on our YouTube channel right now.
Because honestly, think about this. I saw the trailer, was like all in. Saw the movie and was like, ugh. You guys saw the trailer, weren't sold.
Who was us? Me and Lauren.
You and Lauren.
Yes.
You saw the trailer, weren't sold, and y'all liked it more than I did. Mm-hmm. You need to stop letting AI and stop taking the human element out of art. And if you're an executive and you can't figure out how to make a movie and what's good, guess what? I'm not advocating for people to lose their jobs. I'm not one of those people. I've lost a job before. I know how that feels. You should be fired. If you don't know how to make a Superman movie, get gone. It is an immigrant who works at a newspaper, who is fighting with a sinister, evil billionaire who has Americana values, who doesn't kill. If you can't make that in 2020, you needs to be fired. You need to have a job where you just put labels on a can. And there's a lot of more that I want to say, but I can't curse on here.
You want me to help you down?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
gonna help him down off the box.
Woo! I am so angry.
I'm not that angry.
I am.
I'm just, to me, I kind of expect this from Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Like you said, this is a studio that really hasn't been able to figure out how to do Superman recently. Mm-hmm. Now help me out. Richard Donner's Superman, was that Warner Brothers?
I believe so.
Okay, because that's a great Superman.
We watched it.
We saw it recently
last year.
That was the first time I seen it in theater. It looked incredible. So I mean, there is evidence of doing a proper Superman movie correctly and having a good time with it.
Yeah.
They just lost their way. So I say all that to say, Warner Brothers has had this issue of who's going to be in charge. We've had previous press plays where we talked about they don't have their Kevin Feige in place. But not just superhero movies, they don't have their overall person figuring out how to make these movies. Mm-hmm. So usually when we do these press plays, it's always fun when we kind of go back and forth giving different sides, but we're both pretty much on the same side of this one. I don't hate it as much, but I will say you got to get your stuff together, Warner Brothers.
Brian Barrett, Leroy, I'm not advocating for someone to lose their job. You should be fired. That's
you did say
that's
that.
That's what I did.
Yeah, those were your words.
And I'm just so angry.
Yeah, and it comes down to, I guess it's an accountability thing, but who is Warner Brothers really accountable to?
But this is the problem that I have with this, and it's not just Warner Brothers, and this is where I'm so angry because it's Warner Brothers, and it's one studio handing this over. Mm-hmm. But let's look at I'm going to just do recent. Let's start with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. Jon Favreau took Robert Downey Jr., who was a felon, a reformed drug addict, and literally launched a freaking franchise.
Did he sleep in a kid's bed?
I don't know.
I don't want to be hypocritical, but he did something. He was like in somebody's room that he was supposed to be on. And it wasn't sexual. He just passed out in somebody's room. That was weird.
But what I'm saying is that's what happens when you're on drugs. You do
right. What I'm saying, he did some bad stuff. But
what I'm saying is, here's a man who reformed his life, who said, who Jon Favreau invested in this man and said, hey, let's make this movie. It wasn't like $100 million production. It was, let's take this guy, let's take this character, let's make a good movie. And they did. And it launched an entire 23, 24 film genre franchise. Did a computer see that? See what I'm saying? Like a computer would tell you Robert Downey Jr. is not a bankable star. You
know what this is?
Literally would have told you that.
The movie Stealth? I didn't think I was going to bring up Stealth in 2020, but if y'all didn't see Stealth, it's not a great movie, but it's fine. A robot AI takes over to be a pilot in the military.
Killed one of the main stars.
Spoiler alert: Jamie Foxx again.
I wasn't gonna say his name, but I was.
It's 2020. Yeah. That movie been out for a long time.
Jessica Biel's in it. Remember when they tried to make Jessica Biel a household name?
It's not Matthew McConaughey, but it's a guy who looks like him. It's the other one.
It's the CW Matthew McConaughey. It's the guy who does the Lowe's commercials.
He's in Lowe's commercials?
That's the guy's voice. He was in the yeah. He's the guy
Lucas
with
something.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's not Matthew McConaughey, but he looks like him. we don't use technology. We've already proven that. Whatever his name is. Anyway, long story short, the guy says, "Hey, AI is never going to be able to do what a human can do," and the humans beat the pilot in the end, the self-pilot.
Yeah.
So I said, it's similar. That was fake, but it's similar.
But this is the thing. Let's look at it recently. What traditional people have told you based on information. And I don't think AI is racist. I don't think AI is sexist or misogynistic. But who is programming the AI and what data are you using? Because we know from a fact, Ike Perlmutter, who was in charge of Marvel, ripped out the guts for Iron Man 3 when we know Rebecca Hall was supposed to be the villain. He got Patty Jenkins fired on Thor 2, which caused the problems. Then Patty Jenkins went on to do Wonder Woman. Would an AI have told you to do Wonder Woman? And AI would have told you Justice League would have been a hit. And would have told you Aquaman would have been trash. Which one made more money?
I mean, to be fair, we don't know what AI would have done.
Well, yeah, we do.
How do you know? Are you an AI?
Watch this. Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Which was a more recognizable figure? The Justice League or Aquaman?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't make one or the other.
What I'm saying is, which one do you think they would have invested in? And which one, and that's what I'm. In other words, what I'm saying is, you need that human element to say, let's try this. And then here's some more movies. Think about it. And they're talking about the festival circuit now, right? So where you go and you see like a Get Out and Us, Crazy Rich Asians, Hereditary. These are the movies that we Ken brought up A24 movies. Those are great freaking movies.
Yeah.
So these art house films, would a AI would have predicted the Blair Witch Project? You see what I'm saying? Would an AI would have predicted the Conjuring universe? That's the problem that I have with this. The hate that I have, and I don't like saying it. The hate that I have is going to allow for the same cookie cutter blockbuster generic films that we get that we don't have any feeling or attachment to. Those movies that you got that you really were like, oh my gosh, that really felt some way. Those are the movies that you have that human feeling with. The Cabin in the Woods, I love that movie. And AI wouldn't have predicted or paid money for that. That is a great film if you hadn't seen it. There's a lot of indie films that you should go and watch and say, yeah, they might not have made buku amounts of money. They might have been profitable, but they were low tier, low risk movies that were great. And what movies are is storytelling. And what you're trying to do is tell me that a robot is going to be a better predictor of what's a good story. And that's where I have the problem. And that's where I'm so angry, because Black Panther, which is a movie that made billions.
Well, not billions.
It made $2 billion. That's more than $1 billion, right? So that's billions.
Did it make $2 billion?
Worldwide it did.
No.
How much you want to bet? I'll bet you a lunch.
Okay.
All right, deal. Let's look this up.
In 2020, first bet of 2020.
2020. I'm going out on a limb, guys.
It's like,
I think it did. Black Panther.
Where am I going to go to lunch? Where are you taking me to lunch?
2020 box office. Please let it make $2 billion.
Well, it's not Black Panther 2.
Oh.
That don't exist.
That's AI, man. AI did that. You saw that.
That thing just said 1.3.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to lunch, but you're taking me somewhere like 2, but no.
Damn.
Bro.
I thought it made 2.
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Lies.
You got Titanic, you got Avatar, you got Avengers, and I think maybe Star Wars in the 2 billion camp.
Yeah, you're right.
It ain't that many in 2 billion.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, 2 billion. But anyway.
But Black Panther made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Would an AI have told you that?
Probably not.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Y'all should have told Leroy sooner.
I didn't see that.
Y'all should have told him sooner.
I love that. Don't do it.
Yes. I don't know where I'm going to lunch yet. I'm going somewhere.
Ken, you're right. I should have seen that. But that's my point. Like,
right.
Would an AI have told us that?
No.
Would an AI told us we'd have got a great movie like Crazy Rich Asians? You see what I'm saying? Like,
no.
And I say that because who is putting in the data? We know people have inherent biases and prejudices. Right. And we see that in just regular AI technology. When you go to the bathroom and the hand sensor, we have heard that there are plenty of times, not because they think they hate black people or people of color. If you have a room full of white guys who are in and making this technology and they don't have anybody of color, it just didn't concern them to say, hey, does this work for darker skin? And I don't want to see that in movies. We already have that problem. And David Cooper's right. We're not going to get that Google money.
Don't happen at this.
But
you made me angry. That's why Google didn't help you for that Black Panther.
Yeah, that's true. Google probably saw that and was like, this dude. And that's why I guess I'm so mad, because there's some of the greatest movies, if you think about it, would not have gotten made if there was a robot in charge. We'd have never gotten Star Wars. You think the AI would have invested in George Lucas?
Yeah.
That was the most expensive independent movie ever at its time. Halloween. You think that... It is driving me crazy the more I think about it.
So, Calm down.
I
Because at this point, you realize you're preaching to the choir here.
I need us,
So
I need us all to band together and stop this.
Okay. It's short of Warner Brothers friend of the show coming on set.
No, not a friend of the show. No, you were not a friend of the show. 2020 Warner Brothers, no.
Short of them coming on set, you just talking to people. You preaching the white noise. Okay. We got it. It's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Ryan Porter, for bringing up Korean cinema. Because, good Lord, woo.
Yeah, Korean cinema's point.
It's amazing.
You still haven't seen Parasite yet, have you?
You know what? And this is one of the biggest problems. It's not key.
Did it ever come to Nickelodeon?
It showed up on my thing once that it was at Sandhill, and then when I clicked on it, it disappeared. And I was like, it never. So it's now in wide release, and it's getting a lot of buzz because it won the Golden Globe, I think, for Best Foreign Film. So maybe there'll be a push to get it in more theaters. I'm thinking
it might come to the AMC when they do the Oscar.
I'm hoping. What I may do is on one day I may take a day off and go to see it in Charlotte, like during the week, so I can like see maybe a couple of movies that we didn't get here at maybe of a larger theater like in Atlanta or Charlotte. So that's one of the things. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just saying that we got another topic, or you want to keep railing on this?
No, I'm good. I just want to go back through some of the comments because there was a lot. The people were really talking, and I missed because I was in I was in rage mode. You know what? I was Kratos. I couldn't see.
You were old Kratos. You weren't new PS4 Kratos.
Or Kratos is just mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Kyle
guys.
Barker Kratos, not Chris Judge Kratos.
The guys were talking about they changed the animation company 4 times for cheaper pay. CB Hunts. DCU has been more hit or miss in recent years. I can agree with that because I watched the last Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Not good. The first Wonder Woman was good. This last one I thought was weak. Let's see. There's a lot of good stuff you guys were saying about like the Warner Brothers animation. Bruce Timm being overall in charge of it, and basically just not understanding the characters. That's one of the things we see right here. I just think that one of the things we need to do is not just because we can doesn't mean we should. And I mean, Jeff Goldblum said it in Jurassic Park.
Before I forget, IGN has already done a story about 10 directors that maybe could take over for Scott Derrickson, and I wanted to go through them with you.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm interested to see what you got. But I would like to see some more indie people take on some of these Marvel movies and go kind of like what they did with James Gunn and Taika. And let's be honest, would Taika been able to been given Thor 3 if there'd have been AI in charge of it? So Thor 3 is one of my top favorite movies. Like, that is hilarious. Like, I still watch it and just laugh out loud, the stupid stuff. You know, would we have gotten that kind of movie? And I think that's what I have a problem with. Ooh, Travis Knight, okay.
So, we got 10 directors that IGN came up with as possible replacements.
Okay.
The first one they have, and these aren't in any order, these are just how they were listed.
Okay.
The first one they have is Travis Knight.
Who did Bumblebee.
Yep. He was recently let go. Well, not let go, but he left Uncharted. Because of scheduling issues, because Tom Holland is a busy man, they're trying to get out more Spider-Mans, and that's affecting other stuff.
That was a story I wanted to do last week because I really. But keep going because no, I like in depth.
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
press play.
keep going because I got some things to say about that.
About what? About Uncharted?
Yeah.
We're gonna be here forever. I'm on vacation. They mentioned Deborah Chow or Deborah Cho. I still don't know which one it is.
Let's go with Cho.
I feel like it might be Chow. I don't know, but she did 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
3.
I thought it was just 2. You want to do another bet?
Yeah, let's cancel that first bet.
Nah, I'll keep that. I know when to stop because I don't know for sure. I'll keep that bet. Don't worry. I think too. Either way, she did multiple episodes.
All right, let's do it a bet.
No,
it's not canceled out. It's just another lunch.
Nope. I'm good. I'm not confident about that. She did multiple episodes of Mandalorian, and the ones that I like, she did The Sin and a later one too. I like the episode that she did. They also mentioned Rick Famuyiwa, the guy who gave us Dope, which was a great movie, and he was also a Mandalorian person.
Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanagan, who did
It.
No. What's the
Red Run?
The
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor Sleep, yes. Whatever the Shining sequel was. They mentioned Matt Beltonelli Open and Tyler Gillette, who gave us Ready or Not. You saw that, right? I heard that was good.
It was.
I ain't seen that. It's freaky for me, but I heard it was good.
Yeah, calm down. You could have got through it.
I don't know. Jennifer Reeder. I've never heard of her, but apparently she has a really cool indie movie out. Or Jennifer Reed. They put Reed here and Reader. Interesting. I don't know which one it is. Probably Reed. No, Readers. See, I think it is Reader. They don't know.
They obviously don't.
Nope. And then who is this person?
2 people.
Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmeyer. Widmeyer, maybe?
Yep.
They're Stephen King at a Pet Cemetery. Okay. So they're mentioning a lot of people with indie backgrounds and horror backgrounds.
Miguel Sapochnik did the Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards.
Okay.
Matt Shackman. Oh, now that's interesting.
He's the director of WandaVision. Yeah, that'd be a good way to tie them together.
It would be a good way. You would have the same continuity and the same person.
Yeah.
So that's...
Yeah.
So episodes 4 and 7.
4 and 7. Cool.
Yep. Next to the last one, and they can stop remakes after $6 Million Man live action Battle of the Planet, Star Blazers. Oh, thought she did the A-Team one. My question: why the hell did Warner Brothers give us Detective Pikachu? I'm going to talk about Pikachu, damn it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hey, Detective Pikachu was pretty fun.
He's right, but
Yeah.
he's right. You would not have gotten a Detective Pikachu if you had a predictive AI who's like, would this have worked? And I was one of the people who's like, Detective Pikachu, the Game Boy Advance game, and I really liked that movie. It was really good. That was a really good movie. The Blade Runner aesthetic that they had going for it, was a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see what's going to happen next with Warner Brothers and how this factors in. I personally loved King of Monsters.
The most recent Godzilla.
I have watched that in the movie theater. I was tickled pink with it. I loved it. I own it on. I bought the steel, and I know we've talked about this. Excuse me. The steel case books not being as good as they used to be. I bought the steel case book for that because I love that movie, and I was like, and to me, a lot of times how we appreciate something so people can see that this actually has a fan base is to actually purchase the content, not steal it, and actually show with our dollars that we are actually interested in this. So I personally love King of Monsters. So did it not resonate with people to a certain extent? Did it not make the money that it should have made? Yeah. But I love the movie.
Yeah.
So I can understand them not wanting to make too many misses like that. But you don't need a predictive AI to know this movie might not do well.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's not a lot of people, or that Warner Brothers isn't taking into account. Like, everybody's trying to be Disney, but a lot of because Disney is the first company to have what
10
billion in 1 year, like 7 or 8 different movies make each $1 billion, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, all those movies were properties that we already knew.
Not only that, all of those movies were properties that Disney bought. Remember that this is going to be the first time, and maybe, I'm going to call it, maybe in the next 20 years, that you see, because remember, think about what they came out with. Another Frozen, which, who would have thought that would have made big and gangbusters? Star Wars.
It's talking snowman, man.
I'm just saying, like when Frozen came out, did anybody think that would be a $1 billion franchise? I don't know. I didn't know. So you had Frozen, your live action. A lot of people were crapping on Aladdin. That did well. We knew Lion King was going to do well. So you had
Naomi
those.
Scott for Aladdin.
So you had those. Then let's bring in on the other side, Star Wars. You had a Star Wars movie this year. That's all. That's just going to bring in people. It's the end of the saga. So you're going to get that. Then let's drop in Marvel. You had Captain Marvel, which, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but again, would a computer have predicted that? Then you had the end of all ends in Endgame. Disney had been grooming this stuff for years. So, like, who else has that kind of catalog of films?
Yeah, so to me, I almost feel like instead of Warner Brothers trying to come up with an AI thing, it's almost like they need to look into their catalog to see what people like and what people miss. Because there's stuff Warner Brothers has. I can't think of it right now, so I guess that's not great for them.
Harry Potter?
I mean, people would go, well, I don't know. They do have Harry Potter, but Fantastic Beasts, people are not feeling Fantastic
But
Beasts.
this is the difference between Fantastic Beasts and Harry Potter. And this is where a AI or a computer versus a person, and this is a conversation Warner Brothers has to have. Is it the Harry Potter world that people love, or is it Harry Potter? Mm-hmm. And so you grew up with those characters, and you already had a built-in fan base because of the books. Mm-hmm. Now you've taken those books and you've expanded the world, but you haven't tied those characters. So people don't have that genuine love and built-in affection for the characters of Newt Scamander that you did with Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. So that's the question that they need to ask and say, where are we going with this? Because to me, what they should have done, and I understand Fantastic Beasts was great, you probably should have set that movie in another school, in another place, and then showed the rise of whoever it was. Instead of going, because that's what the idea of these kids going to school and watching Harry grow, having these things happen to him, having Hermione, watching her grow up, having that the Muggle and the mudblood racism that happened, that was the stuff that people attached themselves to. Mm-hmm. You don't have that in the Fantastic Beasts. Mm-hmm. My wife is a Harry Potter, like my wife and my sister have bonded over Harry Potter. They want to go wherever that place is that they turn the town into Harry Potter for a week. Okay. So, because of the books, mm-hmm. because of the movies, because they bonded with those characters, that's where Warner Brothers, I think, has missed the boat on that. And Star Wars is kind of going through it right now. Is it the Star Wars universe, or was it the Skywalkers? And so, Mandalorian proved that it's the universe. Mm-hmm. But the movies, mm-hmm. So, but that goes to your point. Who else has a catalog of characters?
To me, like my overall thing was just not trying to rely on AI and whatnot, just kind of going back to your back catalog. And people are naming lots of stuff that Warner mm-hmm. Brothers has access to. So going through those things and trying to figure out exactly what that is. And I think Warner Brothers is going to really rely on streaming stuff once they release that
HBO
Max or whatever that has mm-hmm. everything that you could ever want.
I hate my wife.
Katie is the best because she has nothing else to do with I'm a bam get him, and then just be one comment and be out.
I hate my wife.
That's great. that's wonderful. Shout out to Katie, dropping these bombs.
I really do.
Dropping these bombs.
Really
that wasn't necessary.
It wasn't,
but it's funny.
And the thing is, it's not a jab, but it's
it's an observation.
It's an observation, and it probably is true.
Yeah. But not all Slytherin are bad.
No, they're not.
No.
Snape was a Slytherin.
Yeah.
Harry's dad was a Slytherin.
What?
Wasn't Harry's dad a Slytherin?
No.
You sure?
No. I'm pretty sure about that.
You want to bet at lunch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Katie, you let us know. Was Harry's dad a Slytherin? I'm pretty sure he wasn't. I don't think so. Because that don't make sense with the books, how they've been in common room. Anyway, what other topics are we talking about?
Oh,
they were talking about Bill.
They're talking about he hasn't done a Jell-O commercial in years. Something was in that Jell-O though.
No, he wasn't. Thank you.
Prove it.
2 lunches. Katie, I'm sorry that I'm taking food out of your mouth because
Harry's dad was bad.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't mean he was a Slytherin. That's not what you said. You said he was a Slytherin.
I need to prove that. I don't trust her.
Next topic.
That's what happens when you have haters in your life.
Next topic.
So we didn't get to do this before.
Why are you like this?
You know what you had. My family warned you about this. Actually, this is your fault. Because you could have said no. I sent you one, but I don't know if I don't know if we have time or if it's. I want to.
It's all on you because I can stay as long as.
I want to do so. The last one I want to do is Salem and Rue. We're going to have a whole week of lunches.
Pay for all my lunches for a week. Great.
Let's go back to, because it's something I really want to talk about, and we didn't get a chance to. You brought up the Uncharted movies. Mm-hmm. This is how many directors?
6. They've had 6 directors now.
In how many years?
Oh man, Uncharted's been. I want to say 2011 was the earliest one. Is when they first started talking about the Uncharted movie, but I can't remember for sure. At the beginning, it was gonna be, who's the guy that did American Hustle? Something or Russell? David or Russell?
I'm trying to remember
Is that his
right
name?
now. I can't. I know. I can picture the trailer because that's got your boy. It's got Amy Adams in it.
Mhm.
It's got
Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I'm pretty sure it's David or Russell.
The voice of Rocket.
Yes, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper and
Bale.
Bale.
Yes.
Because Bale got fat for it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets fat for a bunch of movies. He got fat for the movie you didn't like, Vice.
I never watched it.
Yeah. But yeah, David O. Russell, he was attached because originally Uncharted was going to be Nathan Drake is. Oh, don't say that.
Y'all go see. I'm gonna call it. New Mutants will come out in the movie theater before another Uncharted director is named.
Well, I would agree with that.
Really?
3, because the thing is, they ain't shooting Uncharted anytime soon.
But
so
you need you need a director.
Yeah, but like you ain't got a name one anytime soon because you ain't shooting no time soon.
You need one because you need to start shooting this.
Yeah, but they keep pushing it back for Spider-Man.
But what I'm saying is, I think Tom Holland ain't even gonna be in it.
Well,
I think what you're gonna have, and you tell me. I think this movie is dead.
so the most recent thing is Travis Knight dropped out because Tom Holland. They were crunching the schedule on Uncharted to make way for Spider-Man, and so that wasn't working out with Travis Knight, so he had to drop out. And then whoever the big wig of Sony is, I don't know the person's name, but they said Tom Holland is still attached, and they still want a young Nathan Drake movie with Tom Holland. So
Okay.
that was the latest thing we heard.
So let me ask you this: Why?
Eventually, it will become a thing of Tom Holland can only look 15 for so long. Mm-hmm. How old is Tom Holland now? 22, 23, something like that? He can. You know what?
Him and Zendaya though look young as I don't
Right,
know
I was
what.
going to say, Paul Rudd pretty much looks the same, and so does Keanu Reeves.
Paul Rudd is not. First of all, those people are not human.
But,
those
but
are
what I'm
living
saying
mortals.
is, Tom Holland
Those are
may have the
vampires.
same thing, so maybe he may look the same way he looks now. I don't know. But conventional wisdom would say he's going to age out of being a young kid or whatever, and he's not going to be able to make this movie. But yeah, when Uncharted was originally, they were talking about it was going to be.
You're right, David O. Russell.
It was going to be Mark Wahlberg as,
Boo! Thank God.
as Nathan
Woo!
Drake, and Robert De
There's a
Niro. Robert De Niro was supposed to be Sully.
Sully.
Yes.
Thank God.
That has since kind of gone away. Now they're going this younger route. Mm-hmm. I want an Uncharted movie just because I want them to get it right with video game movies.
It ain't gonna happen. Not with Uncharted.
I don't know. Because Sony Entertainment created their own specific games to
Hollywood's
movies.
23.
Okay. Their own specific games to movie division that would handle stuff like if Uncharted ever comes out or if they decide to make a Last of Us or probably any big Sony first party game that might become a movie. They have a studio that's supposed to handle that stuff.
It ain't never coming out. I'm with Brian Barrett. I think the problem with Uncharted was
Wow. Damien. Oh.
Damien Estrada's in timeout.
Wow.
How do you put people in timeout in the chat? Another Cats movie will come out before Uncharted. Damn. That's damn.
I don't have DC Universe, so I don't watch it. I want to watch the Harley Quinn because I heard it's funny.
I'm waiting for DC Universe to get lumped in with my HBO Max.
So that you can just have it? Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't get another one. I can't get another streaming service because there's nothing on HBO Max my wife would watch.
Yeah.
So I can't justify that purchase.
Yeah.
Just like I can't justify CBS All Access. And screw you, CBS. I'm still mad at you.
I just finished Doom Patrol. That was fun.
So
That was a lot of fun.
A lot of people.
Doom Patrol was fun.
Titans got a lot of heat, but then people are like, Titans was great. And so I'm happy for them. But the problem I have with Uncharted, going back to what you were saying was, part of the thing about those games was they were a moment in time that captured the zeitgeist. But they were action-adventure, and it filled the Indiana Jones need in us, that adventurer type thing.
Sure.
The problem with it is that you wanted a young Tom Holland, so that you could build a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to build franchises. Give me a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, you picked the worst. I don't want to say worst. You picked, to me, the disappointing part of Uncharted, when you should have started with Nathan Drake already grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have had flashbacks with Tom Holland like you did in the game. But I did not like the last Uncharted. I liked the...
Wait, 3 or 4?
The last one.
So 4. You didn't like 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like 4.
Okay.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was serviceable. The first 3... To me, 2 and 3 are the better ones,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like 4, but if you want to do Uncharted, you took the worst part of Uncharted, the best part of Uncharted, or if you want to make a franchise, do it with Drake already married.
Mm-hmm.
And do it with Drake already with his little scheming brother. Do it with Sully always complaining about retiring. He's married and they've got that kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you have a franchise in Uncharted. But they won't, because they want to go with Nathan Drake. Do it with Drake already established.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody brought up that Nathan Fillion is too old. You're right. Kill him.
Kill who?
Nathan Drake. You want a good Uncharted franchise? Because how movies get you, you have this great character, Nathan Drake. You have him as a dad. You have him as and you have a great movie. Introduce Nathan, introduce his daughter, introduce these characters. Second movie, boom, take out Drake.
And you're not talking about the DLC, because somebody bring up Uncharted, the Uncharted they had.
I love that DLC.
Yeah, with
I zoomed through that.
Claudia and Nadine.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is, I don't think they're ever going to make an Uncharted, because I don't think they know how to get Uncharted right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people have a big problem with that de-aging of Nathan trying to grow it up, because they wanted Nathan Drake. They didn't want the kid. They didn't want all of that.
And it didn't help when Nathan Fillion released that fan-made movie
Yep.
that looked awesome. I was like, yeah,
Yep.
this is Uncharted. Give me this. That was great.
And that's why I said, you want to build a movie franchise, you want to build something, give us Nathan Drake already as a family man, trying to balance treasure hunting, a wife and a kid. And in 3 or 4 movies, you want a franchise, you want to build a franchise, take out Nathan Drake. And then allow for Sully, or the older brother, and Sully to help raise the little girl. And basically you created a Lara Croft franchise within the Uncharted. That's what you should do. Because let me tell you right now, that first movie is going to be great. Basically make it Empire Strikes Back, that second movie. Mm-hmm. That second movie you've built up, you love the first one, boom, take out Nathan Drake. And then you can do whatever you want with that franchise. Because the biggest problem with the Pirates of the Caribbean movies is that you focus...
Besides that they're garbage.
They're not. But the problem that you did with the Pirates of the Caribbean movie was no one expected a Johnny Depp to be Johnny Depp. And basically put on one of his best acting performances of all time. And you focused on Johnny Depp carrying the movie when you should have gone with Elizabeth Swann and her and Orlando Bloom, and that's the people you should have based the movie around.
I'm mad that you said the character name for her, but said Orlando Bloom and not Will Turner.
I didn't, because Will Turner was a punk.
I needed it to be the same on either side.
I refuse. Will Turner gets on my last nerve in those movies.
Elizabeth Swann and Orlando Bloom.
Because sorry. I love Orlando Bloom, and I do, but Will Turner got on my last nerve in those franchises.
Ray Sean K says the first National Treasure was Uncharted. I can see that.
See, that's what I'm saying. So
that was a lot of fun.
And that's what you want. You want fun movies, and I don't think they understand the property to give us that. Mm-hmm. And because basically what Uncharted did well was what Indiana Jones did, that none of these movies. See. And I agree. Brian Barrett, Liam Neeson churn out multiple action flicks, Expendable, Star Wars, embrace older actors, you cowards. Kid, I'm with you. Embrace some of these older guys and usher in some younger, and help them usher in some of these younger ones. Willis. That's just me. I know everybody else has a difference of opinion, and I think Will Turner's good. He got on my nerves with some of the choices he made. So, but that's the thing that I have with some of these blockbusters from 2019. The fact that the star always has to be this. Nathan Drake got his ass kicked all the time.
Well, and also Nathan Drake is a sociopath of murder, but that's Nathan Drake is a sociopath. I hate to drop that on y'all if y'all didn't know. Nathan Drake is a sociopath. There's no way you can have a conversation with Sully about retirement and then shoot all these people dead it's nothing.
I really wish we had a hot take lower third. That was a hot take.
I'm not the first person to come up with that. I'm just like, that's that ludonarrative dissonance. I'm like, you can't kill all these people and joke about it at the same time. The game's still fun. Nathan Drake is a sociopath.
I think that's how the comedy is how he uses to cope with all the things that they see.
Okay. Okay.
Because granted, all of those people tried to kill him.
They did.
I mean, it wasn't like he went out of his way to kill them.
And like, was it Uncharted 2 where he starts off with like poison darts to knock people out, and then later he was like, we gotta kill every mother effer in this. Like, well, all right, cool.
The Brian Barrett Drake's body count is high. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But that's the problem that I have with a lot of these Hobbs and Shaw, I'm calling it. That's the biggest problem. Indiana Jones used to get beat up, but he kept getting up. The Rocky movies, you got beat up, and then you got back up.
If you want a modern version, John Wick gets beat up. So when he comes back and whoops all that butt, you're like, oh, yeah, John Wick is incredible.
And that's why I disagree with you when
Jackie
you said,
Chan, perfect example.
Woo!
He's always getting beat up, so when he beats people up, it looks better.
And that's why people love Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, Tom Cruise is immortal. And he has everything. So you want to see a pretty dude get beat up all the time, and then he gets up, he comes back, and he triumphs. That's why I disagree with you about the Mandalorian not being a good bounty hunter. He showed you why he's the best. He gets beat up, he never quits. Everybody else would have been like, I'm out. And that's exactly what they did. Because remember how many people wanted the child, but they gave up. They were like, nah, this is too hard. That's how you make a good franchise. Don't make the person so overpowered you know what's going to happen. If you look at some of your best action films, your best franchises, Die Hard, your early Rambos, some of Arnold's best movies are the ones where he gets punched in the face all the time. Jingle All the Way is hilarious. Kindergarten Cop. His best movies are the ones, even though this dude is physically just cut, ripped.
Just tiny.
He is tiny, but I wouldn't fight him. Predator. He gets his butt kicked. And that's why I said you're never going to get an Uncharted film, because they don't know. Because the people who made the games understood the character. And the people who make the movies just want to make a movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you're never going to get that kind of movie on screen, because every star wants to be they want to be a star. They don't understand what it goes into being a great character that people endure. And that's why Jumanji works over Hobbs and Shaw. Because The Rock is playing a dude who is unsure of himself.
I thought you were going somewhere else, sorry.
No,
I thought you were doing Tropic Thunder for a second.
He's playing a dude who's playing a dude disguised as another dude.
I was just like, okay, go ahead. But, yeah.
And that's why Jumanji works, because as big as The Rock is, as powerful as he is, he's this guy, but he's still a teenager inside, unsure of himself, doesn't know how to use these muscles. And that's one of those things where you don't get in any of these new action movies that you got from the 80s and the 90s and the 70s. The hero getting beat down and having to rise up. And I think that's what's missing. So yeah, that's why I'm happy that you love Uncharted, but I'm sorry to tell you, you'll never get an Uncharted movie.
I'm going to get an Uncharted movie. But you know what movie I'm excited for?
What?
Mortal Kombat.
You think that's going to be good?
I think the choreography is going to be incredible.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't care about a Mortal Kombat story. The Mortal Kombat story is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I know they got people from the Raid in it. I think the choreography is going to be sick. Yeah. That's all I need is the choreography to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should probably go, right?
Huh?
Shouldn't you be going?
To what?
I don't know. Back to your job.
Nah, man, it's only 8:41. They good. Ain't nothing going on up there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not worried about them.
Okay.
No, and that's why I said I agree with a lot of commenters in here. They're talking about the hero not being a genius. Andy has a gun and a bullwhip. Pretty coward dude who wants to get beat up. Let's show this. I'm not going to disagree with that statement, Damian Estrada. Die Hard 1 isn't at the first time the hero continually gets his ass beat. Kind of, sort of. I mean, if you go back, Die Hard was like the big blockbuster, but there were other movies. I think Rambo came out, First Blood came out before. I think you had a Rocky movie before that. But those movies, I think, are what defines the hero's journey. And that's why people love Creed. That idea of this, here's this guy, kind of with a chip on his shoulder, trying to rise above and gets knocked down, but keeps getting up. And I think you won't get an Uncharted because I think Hollywood right now is going into this and not understanding that. And I think that's what was great about those Captain America movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, what else you got, man?
I'm spent.
The Rock was good in Snitch. I never saw Snitch, but I thought The Rock's best movie was it Faster? The one where he went to jail and he came back?
And his name was Driver or something? He didn't have like a name or something?
Yeah, the one where he went to jail. I think that's The Rock's best movie.
And he took out the preacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I love that movie. You think his best movie is Pain and Gain.
Rock's not in Pain and Gain.
Yeah, he is.
The Rock?
The Rock with
Mark Wahlberg. Yeah. That was
Damn, I should have bet you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, because I would have thought about it first.
Soundtrack to Conan is a masterpiece. I think that's John Williams III.
John Williams III?
John Williams. Star Wars.
So just John Williams?
I think it's the third, isn't it? Isn't he a third? I have to look that up. I'm not betting you.
You just be coming up with these names of people like I don't.
Walking Tall was okay. I can give you which mount was I. Yeah, that's to me that's The Rock's biggest problem. He's always The Rock. He's never just a regular guy trying. And maybe in Walking Tall he probably was. But where's the regular guy in a situation where you can't give up. You just have to.
Well, I feel like The Rock is only like that in the Fast and Furious movies.
Nah, he was like that in The Rundown.
He got beat up in The Rundown. Because Ernie Reyes Jr. beat him up.
That wasn't a fair fight.
Doesn't matter, you got beat up.
That wasn't a fair fight.
My boy Ernie Reyes Jr. Man, shout out to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Now you're just talking crazy.
No, Ernie Reyes Jr. made me think of that movie because he was Keno in that movie.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's what we're not going to get those video game movies because I think they don't respect the property. And we've seen that with the Sonic movie. We've seen that in Rampage. We've seen that in all these other movies where they make something flashy. And that's why Detective Pikachu made it because it had heart. Mm-hmm. It had that wow factor. So yeah. Here we go. Thank you, Ken. Yeah. It's not about how hard you hit, but how you. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
We gonna be alright?
Nah, man. Have you watched those the motivational videos with Rocky? Where like I used when I go to the gym, that's what I would listen to, and they'll have like all these different little things from like Gladiator.
You don't listen to Nick Jones right now. He'll tell you that quote every day.
That's why I don't listen to Nick Jones.
Just saying. Because Nick Jones will tell you that quote every day.
What that quote got to do with traffic?
I'm out. You can wrap this up, y'all. We out for the first one of 2020.
What that got to do with traffic? What that got to do with Lexington County?
Say bye to these people.
All right, guys. I want to say bye to Ken from Chicago. I want to say bye to Joe Greer, Tia Moore, Brian Barrett, Zaylin Maru, IMAX, David Cooper, my wife, who's a hater. Shut up, Michael. Edward Sanchez Productions, Damon Estrada, Brian Barrett. Let's see who else is in here. Timor, Ryan Porter, Ray Sean K,
CB Hunt.
CB Hunt, Storm Shadow, I think you're in here too somewhere. Ty Williams, Clay Portis. Did I say Clay Portis? Clay Portis. I know I mentioned David Cooper. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you for 2020. We got a couple of videos we want to get out that we're still working on. We know we've gotten a question about what we're looking forward to for 2020: movies, video games, television shows. Our goal is to do a video of at least movies. I don't know if we'll get to video games, but we're definitely going to do our top movies that we're looking forward to. We also want to do, me and Michael talked about it, so we're going to do a week-to-week of The Outsider, the new Stephen King show on HBO. We think that's going to be good. It's going to give us a lot to talk about. But yeah, 2020, we want to go into this year with some good vibes, positivity, and basically have a great year. We want to say thank you guys. 2019 was a blast, all because of you. So we want to say thank you again. We could not do this channel without you. So every time you like, you comment, subscribe, we respond. We appreciate the interaction because we just want to have a fun place where we can talk about the things that we love. So Michael's over there on the 1s and 2s. We'll see you next week. We're out. Turn it off. Where do you want to go?